Hey everyone, I'm Callum Heinrich and welcome to the Railblazers Podcast. This podcast is a love letter to the people, places and passions that make up our railway with Thameslink, Southern, Great Northern and Gatwick Express. Today we're off to the South Downs, all aboard, we're with Callum Heinrich. So, Callum, thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Very excited to have you. So, you are the founder of Hixe and you're a friend of the family, particularly with Southern Railway, because your community, you know, you've built that relatively recently, actually. Tell us about Hixe and tell us why you've almost become like a little symbol of the South Downs for us. We love seeing that on your Instagram.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I started creating hiking content about 8 months ago. It came from a place of like for my mental health and stuff, and I just wanted to find something that was a bit more for me. And one of the main things I was getting on my videos was comments from people going, "I wish I could join you. I wish I could come on it." And so I thought, come on, we got to start a little community or something like that. And I was already leading Hixe for another community at the time, so I knew what to do. And I basically just went, screw it, let's do it. So I created Hixe, Hixe, because we're cool as hell. It was mental. The first hike that we did, I was meant to have like 15 people and 78 showed up.
Fantastic.
Which was amazing.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome. I mean, the majority, actually all of them we've done so far have been south. So like heading south, I mean,
it's a beautiful part.
I was about to say, it's like
area of outstanding national beauty.
Literally. And like, so my niche when it comes to my hiking and my social media is showing people the hikes you can do from London. So I show people, if you live in the city, where are the best places to go.
Absolutely.
And it just happens the majority of them are south.
Indeed.
Oh,
you know,
hard life,
the hustle,
isn't it?
what can we say? So, I mean, there's loads of trips and different destinations that you've been on, and it's just a pleasure. I mean, also you're a photographer as well, so you know you really capture the beauty of all those different destinations. When you sort of like thought about, because you know, looking at your journey on Instagram and things like that, you started doing a couple of these hikes yourself, and then leading them for other communities. We've seen your friend Rory Bradshaw come on a few of them with you. He's a good friend of ours as well. What made you sort of like go down that sort of like building the community route, and sort of like who do you get on these sort of community hikes?
So I started hiking in general, and this is like a massive part of my journey. And like I said before, and I'm always open with it, and I think it's something we need to talk about more. But I started it for my mental health.
Right.
I actually had a situation last year where I was going to start taking anti-anxiety medication, and when I went to the doctor said to me that regular exercise after 3 months does the same thing for your brain that sertraline can do, or any other anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
And I've been a big gym boy since I was 16, so I've always had the kind
Really?
of... What? I don't know what you're talking about. But like, I wanted something that was for me. I wanted something that was, instead of just going to a gym or something like that, something that reconnected me with nature, reconnected me with like what I was doing in my childhood. I grew up in Dorset, so I've always been surrounded
Beautiful
by
part of the country as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've always been surrounded by coast and fields.
It's probably quite homely then for you,
It's
like
so
the
homely.
South Downs.
It really is. It's why I do it so much, is because I've missed that so much.
Absolutely.
So I started hiking for my mental health, and honestly, within 2 or 3 walks, the difference I saw was insane. And the first thing I thought was, there are so many other people who are dealing with mental health problems, especially in the world right now. And especially in London, who could benefit from this.
It's a busy place.
It's a busy place.
And even, you know, just looking after COVID, you know, from our side, you know, we've sort of got the inside track on that. You know, since COVID, you know, the amount of tickets that we sell on down to like seafood, for instance, has jumped like 9%.
Really?
And that's, you can clearly see.
Yeah, you can see the correlation.
Yeah, exactly. You know, after COVID, people want that escape. They want that balance. It's very almost like therapeutic, isn't it?
It's exactly that. And I think that's what led me towards more community based as well, because I knew that creating the videos that I do for my channel and showing people the ease of getting to these places was great. But how can I make sure they're doing it? So I was like, I want to be that school teacher that's like, right, come on, you're coming with me. We're meeting here.
Do you do that thing where you're like, come on, everyone, cross at the same time?
Oh,
you know, count them all in.
I have lollipop person so many times. But I will say, the one thing that I found really beautiful, so my community is open to all. It's open to everyone, you know, regardless of who you are, your ability.
Absolutely.
And the variety of people I've had has been so incredible.
Wow.
Like, I think it's the diversity that makes the community. And there's a quote I love about community that says, a community is a group of people who decide to grow together.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think that's...
And it's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
And whether that's growing your glutes or growing your brain, like, either way, like...
They're both muscles.
They're both muscles,
Exactly.
and we're working it out together. But yeah, it's the proudest thing I've ever done is that little community that I love.
Absolutely. And, you know, I hate to be too marketing about it, but, you know, to train your brain, it's almost as if, you know, like you almost, once you go on that first sort of hike and you go on that sort of first experience, like you realize that, you know, you get so much out of it, not just, you know, that sort of rush of endorphins and meeting people, but actually once you start making it a pattern, you know, going, you know, once a season or once every few weeks and things like that, because it only does take a few hours to do it. Yeah. And I think it helps sort of like give people that confidence to go out and explore. And
definitely. I've also had quite a few Londoners come on my hike who have grown up in London and have never left London. And it's like a lot of them just go, "What? I didn't realize that less than an hour away we can be in the most beautiful countryside you've seen." And I'm like, "Well, that's what I'm here for."
It's crazy. I mean, I grew up in London, and I remember we moved to Hertfordshire when I was 8, roughly. And I just couldn't believe that it went like town, field, town. Even though I'd been on holiday, like I couldn't understand that. And I think that, you know, it being, you know, you might not think that, you know, London is this bubble, but sometimes it can really feel it like subconsciously. Yeah,
definitely.
So with the community, sort of like where do you see it going? What would you like to do?
You know what? I was actually talking to someone about this yesterday, and I think, for me personally, I don't like to think too far in the future. I don't like to go, oh, where shall I go with this? I like to naturally let it develop to how it will be. Organically. The only thing I will say is the numbers are getting a bit crazy. Okay. So like I'm gonna have to work out some sort of
exactly. Hello, group bookings. Group bookings. We'll get a carriage for you.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, but like the only thing that I can think is I'm gonna get a few more people on board to help me. But all I want to do is just keep doing it. I think I want to keep showing people this. I think eventually I would love to take it further afield. I'd love to take people further than London and like the surrounding areas, maybe even abroad, something crazy. I'm always a fan of doing crazy things. So like,
well, you're pretty creative, and I wouldn't normally ask this to a podcast guest, I suppose, but what are you wearing under there? Because your signature shot, I suppose, is those budgy smugglers.
Yeah, it is very true. So I've got a couple of trademarks, but the first one is budgy smugglers. I've always worn budgy smugglers, and now it's become that kind of trademark. So I'll have a hikes one soon that just says hikes across my bum.
We'll have to get you a Southern Rail one. Let's talk about the Seven Sisters.
Yes.
So that is a mammoth challenge. I remember the first time that I did it. I went from the Burling Gap down to Eastbourne.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, surely that's the hardest bit done because I've got over the first hill. You know, we love our friends at Brighton and Hove buses, get us up the hill. That's all great. But still, it's a good old trek. I mean, it's very enjoyable. So how would you tackle that? Beginner, easy, right through to hard?
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm going to say beginner, easy, like all of them, you can do it. Like it's all a mentality mindset.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Method, just do it.
I recently took my community down there, and I had a lot of people who had never hiked before, and that was their first hike, and it is a beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my favourite thing was we went Eastbourne to Seaford Way.
Yeah, I noticed that you went Eastbourne first.
Yeah, a lot of people go Seaford to Eastbourne because you get the beautiful views.
That's right.
However, if you go the other way, you get Cuckmere Beach near the end.
That's true.
So you can swim near the end. Yeah, and that's what I prefer. And also you get to look back at the views, which I prefer. Like at the end. Yeah. Also, I was thinking about the group shot, and I wanted that group shot with the Seven Sisters in the back. But yeah, the funniest thing that happened to us on that was people were starting it from Eastbourne, walking up that first hill to Beachy Head Lighthouse. That is.
I'm thinking it's going to be that very
that is brutal. But what's hilarious is they get up to the top of that and they go, "Oh, that's one sister done," and I'm like. That's the cousin. I was like, we're on distant family. But what's nice is there are a couple of rest stops on the way, and I think if you're going to do it and you've never done a hike like that before, block off the whole day and take your time. Yeah. It's so beautiful, and there's so many amazing views that like I feel like you can just go from gap to gap and take a chill at the gap, have a sit, have a swim, do what you need to do. Absolutely. Take on a sister at a time, which.
Yeah, because it's a National Trust location as well.
It is.
So
it is. Yeah.
Those, you know, Burling Gap. There's a place to stop off there. Beachy Head as well.
Actually, Burling Gap also has an ice cream van. So
if
you need that ice cream van to get you that boost to get you up it, that's what I do every time.
That's it. Yeah. You know, just keep the calories going.
But it is mind blowing, and the reviews that I had from the people who came to do the hike is they just couldn't believe we were in England. And I think there's so many moments on that are just mind-blowingly beautiful. So I love the Seven Sisters.
And a top tip for all our Railblazers listening, make sure if you're traveling from Seaford to Eastbourne or Eastbourne to Seaford, instead of getting returns and trying to work out the different tickets, if you book a Southern Day Save ticket, I don't know if you know this, Callum, but if you book a Southern Day Save ticket on our app or on our website 3 days in advance, it's only £25 per person. You get unlimited travel on Southern. And for 4 adults, it's 50 quid. So it works out as great value.
Okay, I did not know that.
Especially when you're splitting your journey.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get a bit confused because Seaford's on one line.
Of course,
and
yeah.
Another. Do I get returned to Seaford? Do I get returned to Eastbourne? If you book 3 days in advance on the Southern Railway website or the Southern Railway app, get a day save ticket.
No, that's actually really vital information. That's brilliant. That makes it so much easier. I've got like multiple different tickets.
That's why we're doing it. You see, you listen to the Railblazers podcast, you come for the stories, you stay for the travel tips. That is what this podcast is all about.
Fantastic. I will be doing that from now on.
But yeah, the South Downs, but also, I suppose we should talk, I mean, you mentioned there the cousin of the Seven Sisters. There's also the North Downs, which comes up in your content.
I love the North Downs.
I've seen, Box Hill and that area. I think Box Hill is beautiful, and especially the skipping stones when you cross the mole that's right by Box Hill Station. How would you do the North Downs? Would you do it differently to the South Downs, or is it the same?
Well, I think the only difference between the North Downs and the South Downs is the swimming. I think
that's true.
I mean, I wear my budgy smugglers either way, but like there are a couple of rivers that you can stop in if you do want to have a little dip. It's mostly just paddling, but
absolutely.
The North Downs is closer to London. I would say the North Downs as well. It has these incredible views. Yeah. And what's amazing from the North Downs is you can view all the way to the South Downs. Yeah, that's true. So like if you want to see both at once, it's that. But I think both of them have their beauty, and I think both of them are so worth exploring. The North Downs, you've obviously got loads of different routes that you can do. Like you said, Box Hill and West Humble Station, just from there alone, there's about 6 different routes I can think of. Exactly. And I think that's a good way of looking at these stops. And if you want to go on these walks and hikes, is look at the station you're going to, and it's like a spider's web. Out of it, there'll be multiple different ways that you can get out into the countryside, and especially around the Box Hill one, you've got like the Surrey Three Peaks. If you're feeling up to a challenge,
is that Leith Hill, Box Hill,
and Holmbury Hill?
Oh, okay.
And like if you're feeling up for a good, like I think me and Rory, my good friend, we did it together. It took us 10.5 hours.
Wow.
Which was longer than we expected.
But that's good for a Three Peaks challenge. I mean, it was incredible. That's quite something.
Yeah, and so I think if you're looking at which one to do, it shouldn't be a one or the other. It should be one and then the other. So absolutely. It depends on what you want to do. If it's warm weather, go for a swim, go on the South Downs. If it's cooler weather, go on the North Downs and then head to the South Downs after.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the South Downs, I think one of the people, in terms of like accessibility, people, it's quite grassy, it's quite hilly, it's quite chalky. Yeah. But actually, there is even, for instance, like bits like the Undercliff Walk from Brighton along the coast down to Newhaven. Most of that is paved. Yep. So absolutely. I think even though people might think, there's 3 peaks, it's going to be so hard. Yeah. I think the train is nice and simple, nice and accessible. You can go right into Brighton, and you can literally make your way at your own pace right down to like Newhaven, Rottingdean, all these beautiful places, all these villages along the coast. And another top tip here: a lot of people don't realise Brighton. The Brighton Plus bus zone. So that's basically when you can get a bus add-on for your ticket for a couple of quid. That goes all the way to Seaford. So lots of people. Yeah. So you jump on the Southern, jump on the Thameslink, you go down to Brighton. Yeah. And you've got a bus route that goes all the way along the coast, right up until...
I've done that bus route before.
It's 12, easy. Isn't it? The 12 and 13.
Super easy.
So, that's a great way, even if you think, what if my hike ends in, Rottingdean, there's not a train station. Actually, it's really simple with your train ticket. So.
See, this is why Callum's here. Callum is organising all my hikes from now on to sort out all my transport.
The power of the Callums.
The power of the Callums.
Where would you say, then, is that sort of hero place in the South Downs? That one place where if you're going for, you want that special moment on the gram or something like that, or, you're with a certain group of friends. It might be a proposal day. It might be a birthday. Yeah. Where's that? Where's that perfect shot?
I think it would be too basic to say Seven Sisters. Seven Sisters is not a basic place.
Controversial, everyone.
It's not a basic place.
Controversial, listeners. The studio is shocked.
There was gasps. No, Seven Sisters is absolutely incredible. Okay. It's so beautiful. It's so scenic. But we've all seen it. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it before, and it's incredible to see in person. Yeah. But I think if you want something that's a little different, if you want something that's like a little bit more special.
Where are we going? The suspense is killing me.
Ooh, you know what? Like I think I said it earlier, but the gap between Hassocks and Lewis, the ridge across that with the views is so beautiful. And even
sunrise or sunset.
Exactly. I've done it at Golden Hour before, and you get a full view all the way to the North Downs, and it is just golden. It's stunning. And the town of Lewis, I'd never been to Lewis before.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's so
walkable.
It's like medieval as well. It's got all these incredible castles and like
Anne of Cleves House. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Charleston Annex. There's so much to do there.
So I'd say somewhere along there. It's just up on that ridge. Just the views either side are mind blowing.
Absolutely, and you know, there's something for everyone in that sort of area as well. I mean, I'm just thinking about Ditchling there. You've got Ridgeview, the wine estate, and also Artelium, which is like a wine and it's also got like an art sort of like a vibe to it.
Yeah.
What do you do on your train journeys with the community? Like
with the community.
Are you Venga boys? Are you on the way?
So I will
say, what is it?
My community is so incredible, and the size of the community has also meant that every time we get on one of these trains, we usually take over 1 or 2 carriages.
Good.
And they are the most fun place to be.
Yeah,
like it's so respectful, and it's just everyone chatting. And I love just hearing the bustle of people having these conversations. There are a couple of people who come on my hikes who are insane at Rubik's Cubes.
Really?
And they bring Rubik's Cubes and then start teaching everyone Rubik's Cubes. So you walk down, some people will be playing Uno on their backpacks, some people will be doing a little bit of Monopoly deal.
Hold on, we need to be like promoting this.
I know, literally.
I need to go tell my boss.
It's fantastic, like watching.
Listen, a trick.
But I said this, the Pillar community, which is the men's community that I run the hikes for, as well as my hikes community. We always say that the train rides are sometimes the best part of the hike because you've got that either excitement or delirium. You're either excited on the way or you are so tired on the way back.
Anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone's like, who are you? I want to get to know you. Exactly. New people. And also, I always have dogs on my hike. So there's always dogs. Wait,
do they keep up with the hikes?
They're amazing. Some of the dogs are faster than us. Like, literally doing the best. But then, like, some of the best moments are on the train back when you're so tired and delirious that everything's hilarious. And the one thing I found that was crazy was I was on one of the trains on the way down to Seaford, actually.
Right, yeah.
And there was just a couple of members of the public who were like, what is going on here? And I was like, this is the Heights community. We're doing the Seven Sisters. And they were like, we're meant to be doing that as well today. Can we join you? And I was like, of course you can. Exactly.
There's an art to train travel,
isn't there? Really
I always think, you don't see everyone on a bus or a plane or anything like that. But particularly in the UK, there is that universality about train travel that, no matter what destination you go through, no matter what sort of length the journey is, you meet all walks of life
100%.
And I think that when you interact with those people, that travel, it builds characters, doesn't it?
Definitely. And do you know what? I think there's one person in my life who's so important to me and so inspirational. It's my grandma. My gran is an absolute legend. If she's listening to this, love you.
Shout out.
But she's in her 70s, only wears the colour purple. Absolute hippie.
Oh, great Northern girl.
Exactly. But you know what? She never learnt to drive, and she always takes the train. And on the train journey, she will speak to everyone. She will sit there and have long conversations, especially coming from Dorset to London.
She's the OG Railblazer.
She's the OG Railblazer. We need to get her on. Get my nan on and have a conversation about it. But she always said to me, I spoke to her, I was like, why don't you want to learn to drive? And she was like, because I wouldn't get to meet people. Yeah. And that was always the way it was. And I love, whenever I have a train ride with her or I meet her, she'll be like, this is my new friend that I've just met from this station. But I think that really inspired me with my community to then... When I'm on the train, if we're bombarding this huge community on and there are people who are sat there and they're a bit nervous, I always talk to them and I'm always like, just so you know, we've got this huge community. If you ever want to join us, you're more than welcome. And it's been so beautiful. There's never been anyone that's like, but like, it's just lovely to be able to have those connections while traveling.
Exactly. And, looking at your stuff on social media, nothing beats being there. I mean, I know that's a TV advert.
No, absolutely. Nothing beats being there.
Being around people, enjoying that journey together.
Definitely.
There's something almost like metaphorical about like you're on a journey together, but you're physically on a journey together.
Absolutely.
So where do you think, and have you got like I mean, you mentioned that sort of like area around sort of like Ditchling Beacon. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's sort of like an underrated part to the South Downs, or if there's a sort of place in the South Downs? Have you done the sort of like western sort of like fringe of the South Downs? Because I know you've done up sort of around Hazelmere. That's a bit off our network.
love
But have you
Hazelmere,
done like
yeah.
Amberley, Arundel at all?
Do you know what? I've never touched Arundel or Amberley. Well, I've heard only good things.
See, we're literally here right now. That there, to be fair, it's where they filmed Wicked Little Letters.
Was it
last year with
I
Olivia
love that
Colman
film.
and Jessie Buckley?
Okay, amazing.
So,
But it's on my list.
It's definitely Chocolate Box England, and I can highly recommend it.
Okay, good.
And from there, actually, you can walk along the South Downs Way, which goes sort of near it, so up at Amberley. There's a river, the River Arun along there. You can walk down or across to sort of like the coast at Bognor Regis, Littlehampton.
Fantastic. Okay, cool.
There's something for everyone.
But yeah, I've got a couple of other friends who do hiking as well, and
Yeah.
the videos and pictures I've seen of Arundel and Arundel Castle look
so
insane.
beautiful. Swanbourne Lake. All these places, yeah.
Love a lake.
And you know, there's people. You can like hire e-bikes. There's like pedlos. There's so much down there.
Okay, sweet. That's my next one. Right, so
there you go. So the Hixe community.
Hixe community. That's where we're going next.
That's it. We're going down to the South Downs.
Absolutely,
it is so impressive. So, Callum, one of your favourite hikes this year has got to have been when you joined our employee network for a hike through the South Downs.
Oh, absolutely.
And the photos were just stunning.
Hey.
Not just because of the budgy smugglers, of course.
that's what we're talking about again.
That is exactly it.
No.
But yeah, it was also to raise money for Mind, which is our charity that we support at Thameslink, Southern, Great Northern and Gatwick Express. And we're going to be joined by Tracy,
Tracy.
We
love Tracy.
Our CSR queen,
Yeah.
to find out a bit more about that. So welcome, Tracy, onto the podcast.
Tracy. Amazing.
Yay.
Hi, lovely.
Like how?
Tracy.
How you
How
doing?
exciting. You're in a cow sandwich. How does that
Couldn't be a better place.
Too many cows.
Exactly.
Too many cows.
Exactly. So, for 3 years, we've got a massive partnership with Mind, which is a mental health charity, and we've been talking with Callum about the benefits of sort of how hiking and travel can boost your mood, boost how you feel. Why for us as a train company have we decided to do a partnership with Mind, a mental health charity?
Yeah. Loads of reasons, really. But probably the biggest reason for us is that a lot of our staff face mental health issues. We have lots of people off sick with mental health conditions. So one of the reasons we wanted to work with Mind was to look at how we could support staff with wellbeing walks and events that could improve their themselves, as well as raise money and awareness for the UK's world-leading mental health charity.
Absolutely.
Mind. Yeah.
I think I was reading 1 in 4 people in England and Wales each year face a mental health problem.
Yeah.
And it's so prevalent. And realistically, in 2025, it's crazy to think there is still a stigma about that.
Yeah.
Does mental health come up on your hikes and things like that, Callum?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's without saying it, I think that's the main reason why people join me in my community. And I think it's so important that for me personally to create that safe space where people can just be free to have a moment out of their lives, have a moment out of London, and that reset. I think the reset is the most important.
Healthy.
And I think even on our hike, being able to just have a day of, not even, I guess you kind of still were at work, but have a day with an alternate environment, something that rejigs your brain. I think that's what it's all about. It's when you're out in nature, you're scanning everything, you're looking around, you're touching the grass. It's grounding at the end of the day. And being able to do that with work, with the place where you're going to be spending all your time makes it really safe. And I think that's like one of the most important parts of doing it with you guys. It was so lovely to see everyone on that hike just enjoy themselves and smile and have a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we always think about it like it's almost like a new train of thought, right? Because when you think about travel, sometimes
no pun intended, or
I think so in a way, because I think when you think about travel, when you're in like a low mood, it can be really difficult to get out and meet people.
Absolutely.
But actually, that is such an enabler of all these like human connections, these positive experiences, and really sort of like getting to sort of like feel that you're not alone in the world.
100%. And you know what? There's just something on that I want to add, which is on my hikes, I always say to people, if you're feeling it, go and talk to someone new.
Absolutely.
Go and do that. But if you want to come and just be part of the community and just exist in that space, and you don't want to actually necessarily, because some people don't communicate great through words, but they communicate great through action.
Absolutely.
So even just being able to walk alongside people and maybe join in every so often, you don't have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. Just being there and being part of that energy alone will do wonders for you.
Absolutely. And Tracy, so far, we're on our journey. We've got lots of train puns here, I feel like.
On our
journey. How are we doing so far? Because I think we've raised thousands of pounds, really, for Mind. And I think that's through to all these fantastic efforts, including from our staff members, from our friends, from our Railblazers, to raise awareness and like these hikes. It was a great example there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we set ourselves a target of raising £75,000 for Mind over the 3-year partnership. We've just finished year 1 of that partnership, and we're on 79,000 already, which is absolutely amazing.
On
year 1.
That's amazing.
Tracy, you are a queen. Time for our Railblazers track trivia. Okay. Right, so question 1. Name a southern station that is exactly situated on the South Downs Way Park. There's 2 possible answers that you give here. The South Downs Way Path, even.
Bing!
Go on.
Wimble, Humble.
Boxall and West Humble.
Yeah.
That's
Wimble,
a North
Wimble,
Downs
Humble.
Way.
Oh, no,
That's
that's
close,
Wimble.
Tracy. That's
Humble,
close.
Wimble. Humble, Wimble.
Bong.
Bong.
I'm going to say Lewis.
Close. You're 1 station out. It's Southeast. Southeast is bang on the South Downs Way. It
Okay.
goes across
Nice.
the track there. Okay.
Bing and Bong. Hilarious.
0-0. Right. Question 2. Which year? This is a hard one. I don't even think I would know this. Which year did the London to Brighton railway line open, connecting London and the South Coast? Was it 1821, 1831, 1841, or 1851?
I didn't even know it was in the 1800s.
Railway 200? Who?
Oh, yeah, Railway
Bing. I'm going to say 18... What was the last one?
51.
1851.
41.
Well done, Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
1841. There you go. It is. I mean, now it's like, just think. I think we've got like 6 to 8 trains an hour between London and Brighton. So
1841.
yeah, imagine that. So it's been going on a long time, and imagine all of those hikes, all of those
I
communities.
know. All of the original Hixe Community from 1841.
Exactly. Hikes for horses. There we go. Okay. Question 3. If you're heading southbound from Hassocks on Thameslink or Southern, what is the next stop towards Brighton?
Bing. Crooksbridge.
Close. It's close. It's the same area, but not quite. Callum?
You know what? I've got absolutely no idea.
No worries. It's Preston Park. Preston Park, which is
Preston
where they
Park,
host
guys.
Brighton and Hove
Yeah.
Pride, where we
Oh,
recently
okay.
did our little See It, Slay It, Sorted. So there you go. You've got to
See It,
download
Slay
that
It,
on
Sorted.
Spotify. So yeah, you've got to be when you're bipping and bopping on your way to your next hike, you've got to be playing that on
Bigging and
Spotify.
bopping.
Bigging and bonging.
When you're bigging and bonging.
That's it. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Question 4. Which southern station is the closest to Glyndebourne Opera House?
Bing, I'm going to guess, just because I've never been, I'm going to say Arundel. Is it Arundel? No?
Tracy?
Brighton.
Glynde. The answer was in the question there. That was in it, yeah. Glynde is the
We're-
closest to
That's true
Glyndebourne.
trick.
We're
That's
thinking
true.
more
There you go, there you go,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Cool. All right. True or false, this one. Eastbourne has more platforms than Lewis. True or false?
Bing. False.
I was going to say being false as well.
Yeah, well done, both of you got
I've-
that right.
I've
Yeah,
changed-
so
I've changed it Lewis
is a
enough to
busy
know.
old junction
Yeah,
there, so
absolutely.
yeah, it's got 5 platforms. It's even got one platform that's like filled in with like little stones
Really?
and stuff.
Yeah.
So, which famous white cliffs can you easily reach by train when you travel to Seaford?
You know what? That's a really, really difficult one. I think there might be 7 of them, and they might be
Potentially.
related. They could be related.
Potentially.
Yeah. I'm going to say, is it the 7 Sisters?
Yay.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
You can have that one. Absolutely. Yeah, it's
like we've been there together.
Absolutely.
There we go. Okay, which town in the South Downs is famous for its bonfire celebrations and its historic castle?
Bing.
Go on.
Roy. No.
Ooh,
Oh!
do you know what? It's so close, but it's not. Rye's not technically in the South Downs,
Is it Roy Bonfire Night?
but Rye does have a bonfire night and a castle.
Right. Okay.
I love Bonfire Night. Sorry. That's just such a tangent, isn't it?
Callum,
Do you know what? I'm going to go for my second time saying it. Is it Arundel? Just because you said castle.
Close. It's Lewis.
Lewis.
Look, of course it is.
Really? Yeah. But you are right, because at Rye does have a beautiful bonfire display, and the castle there's amazing. It's got a museum and everything.
All right, well, I'm going to be going to one of these.
Further up. But Lewis definitely.
Yeah.
It's all within walking distance of the station, so, you know.
Awesome.
Got to do it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Which South Downs station is the closest to the Devil's Dyke?
Ooh, closest to Devil's Dyke.
Yeah.
Devil's Dyke is on the Ridge Line.
It's close to It's quite close to Ditching Beacon as
Yeah,
well.
I was going to say,
between
is
the two.
it Hassocks? No, Hassocks is too far from it.
Yeah, it's Hassocks.
Is it Hassocks?
Well done.
Yeah,
Don't you think,
that's
though?
where you
I'm
get
so
on
sorry,
the,
I forgot
that's where you
to
get on the South
think.
Downs. Yeah.
You can have my half point.
And then the last one, which true or false, you can get the train directly between the South Downs and Gatwick Airport.
True.
Exactly, because you can go from Plumpton to Paris in a few hours.
Yes.
Plumpton? Is that a place?
Plumpton, yeah, Plumpton. That's where Artelium. Oh, it's got racecourse as well. Plumpton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. There's a station called Plumpton, and on the platform, there's like a side exit, and you go into the racecourse.
I just love, this is one of my favourite things about doing hikes in the south. It's just the names of the places.
And just to finish us off then, Callum, thanks for being such a wonderful guest.
Thank you so much
really
for having
enjoyed
me.
having you. I want to do a quick fire round of Railblazer recommendations. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock.
Okay, sweet.
And I just
Oh, no,
want
I'm
you
stressed.
to
I'm sweating.
give us 1-2 word answers,
Okay.
just so that people know from this podcast where to go. Right,
Sweet.
ready?
Yep.
Go,
Let's go. Your favourite South Down station for a scenic photo?
Hassocks.
Your go-to song for a train journey?
Locomotive.
One item you always bring on your train trips?
Water.
A must-see landmark on the South Downs?
Jack and Jill windmills.
Oh, I like them. Best way to pass the time on a long train trip?
Rubik's Cube.
Who would be your dream person to photograph on the railway?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, interesting. If you could rename one of our stations, what would you call it?
It'd be Hassocks and I'd call it Hixes.
Train station you most like to see in a film or music video?
Haven't been there, Arundel.
Oh yeah.
After you
Well, have. I mean,
after you
it's there,
hyped up
technically.
Arundel,
There we go.
I think that's gonna be
Yeah,
one.
on our wall. And last question.
Yes.
3 words to describe the South Downs.
Magnificent, green, and mind-blowing.
Oh,
With a hyphen.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Tracy, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you,
so
Callum.
much.
Thank you,
Callum,
Thank you,
always
thank you,
welcome.
thank
Thanks for
you.
being part of the Railblazers
Absolutely.
family. And thanks to you all for listening. The next episode will be next Friday. Callum, tell us where we can see you on socials.
Or you can see me on @Callum Heinrich or @Hixe Community. Always welcome.
And you can follow us with #Railblazers at TRL UK, at Southern Rail UK, at GN Rail UK, and at Gatwick Express. Speak to you soon.